pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayon din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hello everyone! Happy Tuesday na naman sa inyong lahat. And thank you for tuning in to Creative Nonfiction. My name is Tutor Kit and I am here with, actually na-miss ko kayo si Tutor Jerry. Kaya Tutor Jerry, please come back soon. And hello sa inyong lahat, mga dear learners. Siguro babati muna tayo, no? Para exciting naman yung ating hapon, no? So, hello kay Vanessa. Hello kay Steph Liwag, Lorenzo Ladit Domingo. I think the very first student who came here was Keith RG. Hi, Joy Martin Ruiz, Jeza Bernadas, Leah May Besa, Lynn Aliaga Likupa. So guys, make sure na help us na dumami tayo ngayong hapon na ito, no? So send the link to this session to your GCs, to your friends, your classmates, even your pets, no? Let them watch our Creative Nonfiction and let's have fun together. Hi pala kay Hazel Gatan Mateo, kay Mark Pasqua, and Christina Grace Zipagad Corpus. Also si Mace Jacqueline Corpus. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Creative Nonfiction. And shout out muna tayo. Ayan. Okay. So kung may gusto kayong i-shout out dyan, just let me know. Just put down your shout outs in the comment section and I'll read them for you. Hello pala kay Ma'am Grace de la Cruz Gutierrez, who is my master teacher sa Cristo Rey High School. And also, hello sa lahat ng teachers and students sa Cristo Rey High School under Schools Division of Tarlac Province. Nice. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. So we're now on our seventh episode, actually, our seventh session for creative nonfiction here at ETUlay. In the past 6 weeks, we learned how to, deal with the elements of nonfiction and kind of like piece them together to form poignant and inspiring stories from our lives, no? And today, we will be focusing on drafting our short piece of nonfiction. So, parang ito na yung culmination ng lahat na napag-aralan natin from day 1 to day 6. So we kind of learned the techniques and the different themes in writing nonfiction. And today is the day that we will learn how to piece them together. Okay, so join us today and make sure na i-share nyo ito sa inyong friends. Padamihin pa natin ito, no? We have 23 uh, viewers so far. Okay. Hi, Jezani. Hi, Roseanne Quinones. Christian as well. And also Joseph Conrad Bulaklak. Thank you for always watching Creative Nonfiction. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So last week we had this challenge. So we challenged you to pick either a second person POV or third person POV to create what we call a travelogue or an observer literary journalism piece, no? To describe your local palenque, carinderia, or plaza. Honestly, guys, when I walk through our palenque, I would be bombarded by sounds, the different smells, different sights, colors, and all those kinds of like what do you call this? All those kinds of things that stimulate the senses, no? And so that's why I ask you guys to take a walk through your palenque, your carinderia or plaza, and help us experience this place based on your perspective. Okay, so let's see who are our cuties of the week. And of course, hindi nawawala, no? Si Neslin and si Keith RG and also Christina. And also congratulations to our newcomer Saturi of the week, who is Hazel M. Gatan. Thank you guys for writing so well and submitting, sharing a piece of your experience to all of us today. So right now, let's go ahead and look at those uh, pieces of nonfiction that they wrote. So this is a Nestlin's piece. She walked through the small palenque was my favorite. So she said, or she wrote, numerous slippers roamed around the small palenque in town, leading to their own destinations while leaving a dirt of footprints on the ground. I love the synecdoche here. Like slippers represent people, but it's if a kind of playful way of saying that there are many people. Great job, Neslin. And also, I love the tomato-colored faces. That's a really great, uh, kind of metaphorical way of saying that it's hot and everybody is sweaty, something like that. So great job there, Neslin. And this is now from Keith RGC Nunes. This is her experience in a restaurant. So let me read a little bit of this. The restaurant was part of a house. In the terrace, shelves taken most of the walls, and stack of books were aligned from astronomy to history, mathematics, and English literature. Mahaba actually ito, guys, but for the time constraints, no, uh, this is the part that I really like the most. No, she didn't only just like describe what she saw in the restaurant. She also was able to enumerate the different details, in a very interesting fashion. Well done. Next, We have Hazel M. Gatan. So this is like a simple or a sample travelogue from her. So I really love her hook here. She said, "Are you worried because your refrigerator has run out of food and you don't know what to do because you have visitors coming?" Oh, I had the same experience like long before. And then she featured the San Mariano Public Market, which then she described in great detail. Great job, Hazel. Very well written. And then lastly, we have Christina Zipagan. And Christina described a carinderia. No, it's Aling Sosing's carinderia. It's kind of saucy, It's a local Filipino food restaurant located in Makati, a city within Metro Manila. She described the atmosphere of the carinderia and how the food were presented, and she made it sound so delicious and so mouth-watering. Great job! Even the enumeration of the inihaw na tilapia, grilled tilapia, inihaw na liempo, all those kinds of details. Great job for doing that, Christina. All right, we appreciate you guys, and hopefully, our other learners will be able to submit their own entries too for our challenge. Tandaan nyo guys, no? Si Sir Jerry namimigay siya ng GCash sa mga mapapalot na mapipili. So, congratulations once again to Hazel, Christina, to Keith RG, and and of course, Neslin. No, congratulations, guys. Thank you for being such great examples. All right, of excellence to all of our viewers today. Okay, punta na tayo guys sa flash review. For a flash review, this is a little quiz about the different points of view we learned last week. Okay, we learned three. We have the first person, the second person, and the third person. So write FP if the description describes the first person. Write SP if it describes the second person, and TP for third person. Okay, let's do this. Ready na kayo? Okay, let's begin. Number one, tells the story in the perspective of the narrator. Ayan, what kind of point of view is this? If you're telling the story in the perspective of the narrator. For example, ako, I will tell my own story. Ano kayang point of view ang gagamitin ko? What do you guys think? Second person kaya? You kaya? No? Third person kaya? He? She kaya? No? What do you guys think? Okay. Hello pala kay Angelica Wenceslao and also kay Romnick Piano, two of our avid viewers. Also kay Luis Del Domelo Soriano, kay Katrina Magusip. Ayan. Neslin said FP, first person daw. Okay. Who else has an answer? Hello, Sarah Jane Makabangon Galut. Ayan. Also, hello kay April Joy Salaginto Vilancio. Okay, let's reveal the answer now. And the answer is FB. Correct. First person. Correct ka din, Keith RD. Thank you. Good job, Hazel, as well. Nice. And Rogen Reyes. Good job. Nice. Good job din kay Joseph. Okay. Let's now move on to number two. Number two. This is used mostly in travelogues. Ano ba ito? Na-reveal na agad. Sorry, guys. Okay. Na-reveal na rin. Okay. So, apparently, in number three, when the narrator serves as an observer of a scene, this is a third person. It's like you're a reporter, and what you see, you just narrate. No, you don't have any kind of personal like opinions about the story. You're just reporting it as it is, and that is the third person point of view. Nice. Okay, guys. Today we will be discussing about drafting a short piece of nonfiction. Okay. So once again, no, sinabi ko kanina na this is like the culmination of everything we've learned from the last 6 weeks. And then next week, we will have our review week. Ayan. Sige, let's do this. Our objective for today is to integrate themes, lead, and conclusion in drafting an effective nonfiction piece. Okay, so we will learn how to use themes, how to create a compelling and catchy lead or hook, and also we will learn how to end or finish strong. We will learn how to write a conclusion. Okay, all right. So, first, we need to know or understand what a draft is. Okay. Ano bang draft, no? A draft, according dito, is an imperfect and rough beginning of a writing process, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa talaga siya dapat perfect. I mean, kung first time mo magsulat ng isang kwento, in-expect mo na ba na perfect siya kaagad? No. Do you guys know that the best writers actually go through several drafts, maybe 10 or 15? Sometimes their very first drafts were like rejected by editors, no? And then they write and write more drafts until they get to a point wherein it's good enough for publication, no? So ibig sabihin, kung mag kung gagawa ka ng isang non-fiction piece, no, isang draft, you don't have to be perfect. That's why it is called rough draft kasi hindi siya smooth. Ayan. And also, a draft is your first attempt to write something. So it's really not meant to be like really good at the beginning. No? Ayan. So, your draft will undergo many revisions until you produce a final draft. So remember, guys, when you say revision, this is the process of correcting your draft. So, for example, I wrote like my first draft. No, it's very crappy still. It's still not that good enough, but it's okay, right? It's okay to be imperfect. And then my draft will undergo revisions. I will look at it, correct some stuff, make some changes about the plot, about the storyline, something like that. No, some details, add some more details to it. That's the process of revision. If you uh, go through your draft many times to correct, to add, to improve it until you produce what we call a final draft. And the final draft, guys, yun yung isasubmit mo kay teacher mo. Ayan. Okay. So, according to the complete idiot's guide, no, to writing nonfiction, there are two kinds of drafts, sabi nila. And let me know, guys, kung ano yung draft ninyo usually pag nagsusulat kayo. The first one is the glamorous version. Kapag glamorous version daw, ideas flow freely to you. Para bang lahat na lang madali, yung ang bilis mo magsulat, tapos yung mga ideas, yung creativity mo, nagpo-flow lang, parang wala kang hinto, tapos boom, tapos na. Yun, no? Glamorous ba kayo magsulat ng draft? Or, meron yung tinatawag naman na tortured version. When you say tortured version, ito naman yung hirap na hirap ka sa pag-iisip ng ideas, ng creativity. So parang nakaranas na ba kayo ng you are looking at a blank Microsoft Word document and then hindi mo alam kung ano yung isulat mo at the beginning, and then you're just staring at the screen for like 5 minutes, and then you're doing nothing. So guys, share in the comment section, no? Ano yung usually na version ninyo ng pagdadraft? Is it glamorous? Is it easy, free-flowing? Or is it mostly tortured? Hirap at medyo hindi makaisip ng ideas. Share, please make sure to share, no, your kind of draft sa ating comment section. Let me share my process kinda. Usually, para siyang ano, para siyang peaks and valleys, meaning sometimes there are like glamorous parts wherein ideas flow freely, but most of the time it's tortured. Ang hirap. Sabi ni Joseph Conda Bulaklak, I kind of tortured po. That's okay. Actually, the best writers, no, usually their version of drafting is tortured as well, no. But when it happens to you guys, when you encounter what we call writer's block, it actually helps to stand up and walk around, no, and then maybe do something else. And then when you're feeling refreshed or well rested, you can come back. And ideas usually come when you're not thinking about them. No, you can take a walk, you can take a bike, talk to your friends, something like that. No, what about you guys? Ano yung process niyo sa pagda-draft? Is it glamorous or tortured? Sabi ni Sarah Jane Makabangon, Kautera ba to? I think tortured din yung sa'yo, Sarah Jane, no? Well, that's okay. It means you're human, no? Nice. Okay, guys. Okay. Now, when you're thinking of writing a draft, no? Kasi hindi pa ito yung final na essay mo, think of it as like an iceberg. No? An iceberg, usually, it has its tip visible, no, to boaters, to people. Yun lang nakikita, yung sa taas lang. But apparently, underneath that tip is like the biggest, what calls the bigger form of the iceberg. No, so that's why we have this idiomatic expression, the tip of the iceberg. No, because we don't really see the full picture yet. We only see the like the visible part, the little part. Sabi ni Hazel, tortured version po. Wala po pa akong nasusulat na torture na po yung utak ko. Slight. I feel you, Hazel. Iniisip ko pala na may assignment at torture na rin ako. But that's okay. That's okay. So, parang ganito na lang kayo mag-isip, guys, no? Isipin nyo na yung draft is the tip of the iceberg, no? Parang overview lang siya. Hindi pa ito yung buong version ng inyong story. That's why it's rough, no? Katiting lang siya. But you need that draft, no, yung katiting na yan, to write the entire story or the rest of your essay or your nonfiction piece, no? So, in writing your draft, you are actually slowly revealing or unveiling the rest of your story, or in this case, the iceberg, no? Hi, Naira G. Dagman, welcome. Ayan. So, sabi nga ng American novelist si Anne Lamott, who is a really good novelist, she said, the child's draft, where you let it all pour out and then let it romp all over the place, knowing that no one is going to see it and that you can shape it later. That's the good thing about drafts, guys, is that hindi siya ipapakita sa iba actually agad, no? Sa inyo muna yun. So you can play with it like a child. You can let it like romp around, kind of all over the place. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, part of like writing a draft is brainstorming ideas, free writing, like just doodles and scribbles, writing whatever comes into your head. I mean, if you're writing a short nonfiction piece about something that happened in your life, you can just write down all of the things that you remember, no? Sabi ni Keith RG, it depends upon the topic po. If I know something about a topic that I am writing, then I know what to write. But mostly, torture drafting po talaga. I totally get you, Keith, no? That's why try to select a topic or a story that you really know or you're really interested about. That's so that you can talk about it really well, no? Marami kang masasabi. Ayan. Kesa naman hindi mo masyadong alam, no? O hindi mo gusto. So, usually as teachers, no, we need to give options or give some kind of freedom to the topics that we give our students, no? And so that mapipili nila kung ano yung gusto talaga nila. Ayan. Now, here are some things you need to remember when writing a draft. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Actually, expected ang mistakes sa pagdadraft. Don't be afraid of ideas no matter how silly they are. And don't be afraid of risks. So, just go with it, no? Don't be scared. Ayan. Sabi nga nila, no? All writers know that writing is a rewriting process. There is no perfect draft in the first draft. No, walang ganun. Walang ganun. Kaya wala rin perfecto. So, here are the three steps of drafting. No? First is find a theme, hook with a lead, then finish with a crazy awesome conclusion. So, ulitin natin, no? Find a theme, hook with a lead, and finish with a crazy awesome conclusion. Ayan. So, let's go first with finding a theme. Hi pala kay Jomel Padilla and Janine Mika Ganaban Siatres. Ay kay Mark Christian Esteban din. Ayan. Yan. Ano ba yung theme, guys, no? Ano ba to? Basketball theme ba to? Volleyball theme? No? Okay. Now, we have discussed this before about theme. Theme actually answers these questions, no? What is your story about? Anyways, what are you, as an author, trying to say? Ano gusto mong sabihin? Anong mensahe ang gusto mong makarating sa iyong sa iyong manonood or sa iyong readers, no? If you can answer these two questions, then you have your theme. Okay. So, sabi dito, theme is the central topic or unifying concept of a piece. It answers the questions, what's this about? So think about this. If you are sharing a story, tungkol saan ito? Ano ang mensahe nito? Ano yung topic dito? No? If you answer that, then you have a theme, and it should unite the rest of your essay or your story. Here's an example for you guys. I have this experience wherein we went to Gabaldon with my family, and it was kind of rainy, you know. So we went and explored to find the waterfalls. But then at the end, parang then may nakita kaming naglandslide na ganyan, kakatapos lang maglandslide. We figured we had to go back, no? And here's another one. This is visiting the beach after 3 years, no, of the pandemic. Now, why did I choose these experiences, these pictures? Well, the first one is that the message that I wanted to convey in telling this story is that a little dose of fear will keep you safe. That fear is actually not all that bad, no? It keeps you worried. It keeps you focused, no? It keeps you watchful, something like that. And then, yung beach naman after 3 years is that, for me, it marks the beginning of the end of the pandemic for me. Kasi noon, di ba, nung nag-pandemic, guys, sa bahay lang talaga tayo. We cannot go out at all. No? And that was really, what do you call this? That was really kind of like depressing for me because I love the beach. No? Ayan. So, for me, when I visited the beach once again, if I tell a story about this experience, it's because I wanted to convey the message that visiting the beach is like a symbol of the end of our seclusion, no? Natapos na yung pandemic. Okay. Ito pala ang tip, guys, kung nahihirapan kayong mamili ng story para sa inyong personal essay or non-fiction piece or sa vignette ninyo. Punta kayo sa sa inyong Facebook. Tapos, tingnan niyo yung mga nakaraan yung post, yung mga pictures ninyo. Most likely, may magandang kwento doon. No? Siguro gumala kayo ng mga kaibigan ninyo. You did this, you did that. You can actually look for topics in your Facebook. Tingnan niyo yung mga pictures ninyo or di kaya your camera roll. You can look at that and maybe base your story on one of the pictures there. Okay. Guys, kung kayo ang magsusulat ng inyong story or non-fiction story, ano tungkol saan ang isusulat ninyo? Paki-comment nga guys sa comment section. If you are to write your non-fiction story right now, what will it be about? Anong experience ang isusulat ninyo? Sige nga, gusto ko makita. Babasahin ko habang as we go on. Okay. All right. The next part of drafting is that we need to hook with a lead. No, this is actually one of the most important parts, no, of drafting. No? Thinking about how to begin. The lead is the beginning of your personal essay or your non-fiction piece. Actually, guys, if you have a really good beginning or lead, it will hook your readers in reading the rest of your essay. Ayun yung gusto mo talaga iplano in your draft. Paano ko mahuhook yung mga readers ko na kung saan pag nabasa nila yung first part of my story, they will read the rest, no? Right, sabi ni Joseph Cornbulaklak, I'm gonna write about my online classes. Maybe you have something profound, Joseph, no, that you can write about your online classes. What about the others, guys? Ano yung mga themes na gusto nyo isulat, no, mga experiences na kukuhanin nyo ng theme? Make sure you write down in the comment section, okay, as we discuss. All right. So, in hooking with a lead, guys, you need to kind of remember these things. First, you must capture the reader's attention. No? Kaya mahuhuli mo sila, mahuhook mo sila. You need to convince the readers to keep reading, no? Na wag kayong bibitaw, something like that. And it should encapsulate the essence of your piece. It should set the tone for the rest of your piece, no? And once they read your hook, they will be engrossed in reading the rest of your essay. Okay, so here are a few suggestions from the Complete Egypt's Guide to Writing Nonfiction by Christina Bofis. So you can hook with an arresting fact or statistic. You can also hook with an intriguing quotation or maybe a bit of dialogue, no? So usapan agad. Something, for example, magsigawan sila. Crispin, Basilio. I mean, there are real people named Crispin and Basilio, right? So that could be a really good hook, no? Something that is intense, something funny or humorous, a story or an anecdote, no? And a provocative question. So these hooks are ideas that you can use in your own stories, no? And I will give you guys some samples here with the leads that I wrote, and also what other people wrote. So this is a lead from one of my stories in Quiet Rage. No, pasensya na kayo. Ayan. So ayan. So let me read this for you guys, and make sure you read along with me. Okay. I bashed its brown head against the concrete with a dull crack. Some of its guts flew and made small splatters on the ashy pavement, which quickly evaporated under the 1 p.m. sun. Translucent buko juice trickled on my hand to my elbows. Did you guys notice how I opened up with something shocking? It kind of felt like I bashed a person's head against the concrete, but actually it was just a coconut fruit, a piece of coconut fruit. But it's actually effective because it kind of makes you think na, oh, bakit, bakit binash na yung head nito against the concrete. So it's kind of like a little bit of risque and a little violent, no, but actually it's not. So it's kind of like deception here, but it gives you some kind of like punch at the beginning that will make you intrigued. At least I hope you're intrigued, right? Here's another from Christina Bofis herself, 24 women. Notice her description here. 24 women are waiting when I enter the classroom in their bright orange sweatshirts and sweatpants. My students look like fluorescent ice pops. They're all bigger and taller than I am at 5'2" and 105 pounds. So just look at this, guys. 24 women in a classroom. They're bright orange sweatshirts. They look like fluorescent ice pops. Great description, great use of detail, uh, a really good simile, no na hindi siya cliche. Here's more. Sabi niya, I feel vulnerable, but I try to stride in confidently. It would be a mistake to show fear on my first day teaching at the San Francisco jail. So once again, no, parang may reveal dito. She's actually a teacher in San Francisco County Jail. No, so we didn't know that until we read towards the end of the lead. No, so very effective use of details. Nice. This one is from Aunt Ellie, one of my memoirs. So according to this, Aunt Ellie loved dusters, those oversized dresses with floral prints and lacy necklines. She looked plain in dusters, I would tell her. She would smile and agree. Carlos loved it when I wear them, she would say as she traced the wavy patterns with her fingers. So I use some dialogue here and what I call this thorough description because I want you to get a feel of my Aunt Ellie. I used would to signal that this is actually habitual. This is what we do. This is what we do in a routinary fashion. This is my childhood that we do with Aunt Ellie. So her face, despite the wrinkles that webbed and crept on her forehead and the weight under her eyes, remained radiant. She'd wear those dusters every day, everywhere. To the farmer's market on Mondays, to the village clinic for her blood pressure check, every Wednesday afternoon. So, do you guys notice how we set the tone here for something that is laid back in terms of storytelling, right? Laid back, routinary, something like that. Okay, guys, puso naman nga kayo dyan kung andyan pa kayo. Pwede ba pa puso? Or any kind of reaction pa like dyan? Ano naramdaman nyo ngayon? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you shocked right now? Ano naramdaman nyo ngayon? Can you guys tell me using any of the emojis in the chat, please? Ayan, para magising-gising naman tayo. Okay. Wow. We now go to the last part, which is to finish strong. This now talking about the conclusion. Remember, if you start strong, oh, umulan ng mga puso. Maraming salamat, Joseph Conrad Bulaklak, and everyone who na nagpuso. Salamat, guys. I appreciate you truly. Okay. So, in writing your conclusion, you need to start strong and finish strong. So, it's kind of like you write your conclusion in a way that will leave your readers wanting to come back for more. Gusto pa nilang basahin ulit, no? Or they want to read more about you, about your experiences. Finish. Describe how her dusters look and kind of gives this nice symmetry of the beginning and the end. Yes. You can end also with a memorable quote, no? Or it could be something that you realize, no? Or your reflection about what this experience has meant to you. You could offer new insight. What did you learn from the experience? What new things did you discover about yourself, about other people? Or if you're feeling pretty funny, you can surprise a reader with humor. You can end with something humorous or maybe a joke or something emotional that could pack like an emotional punch to your story. Okay. So I'll probably just read to you guys. All right. So in Aunt Ellie, this is how I ended. So I said, I ended with a little bit of like tenseness and conflict here. I said, Aunt Ellie went home that night, her face dim. She did not speak at all. She looked as frail as ever, and as she climbed into her bed that groaned and squeaked that night, I held my breath. The smell of pineapple stuck in the air, the silence choking the air around me. So I would love, I like to kind of like make my readers hold their breath with me as well. So with these descriptions. And then I whispered, can you tell me one more time how you and Carlos met? Silence. So it's kind of like a little bit of holding her breath. I heard her sigh after what felt like an hour of sickening silence. And then, okay, and then she said, that night, Aunt Ellie told me for the 1,000th time their adventures, stealing sugarcane from the back of the trucks and blah, blah, blah. And this is the resolution that we're looking for. After holding our breath for so long, we can now breathe easy because it went well in the end. All right. So that was my example, guys. All right. Okay. So remember this when you will be writing your draft. Oh, Sabine and Neslin, I'm going to write about something personal, specifically a core memory with my family. That's really good, Neslin. And I hope you you think about something that is you will never write a masterpiece. Successful authors listen to themselves, okay, when they're drafting. All right. So that's the end of our session for today. And our challenge for the third quarter of creative nonfiction. So goodbye, guys, and I hope you will have a great the rest of Tuesday. Take care. Bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!